Well, the National World War II Museum is just down the road from us and tells the story of why the war was fought. It stands as a reflection of American spirit, teamwork, courage, and the sacrifices of the brave men and women who served on the battleground. And this city also has a rich Super Bowl history as well. The Big Easy hosts its record-tying 11th Super Bowl tonight, and the Superdome extends its record for most by any stadium. Our very own Terry Bradshaw got the first of his 4 Super Bowl wins here. Then he returned to the city to broadcast Fox's first Super Bowl. Tom Brady's insane run of 7 Super Bowl wins started right here as well. And he's about to call his first Super Bowl as a broadcaster here tonight on Fox. Just about the only thing he hasn't done on this stage. Brady has the record for the most Super Bowl wins, the most touchdown passes. He's got more Super Bowl wins than any franchise. You get the picture. Yep. He's the man, has been the man, continues to be the man, and he is with us right now getting ready to call his first Super Bowl on Fox. Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you, partner. Great to be out here with you guys. Look at this environment. This is crazy down here on Bourbon Street.
This is special. When you're a player getting ready for the Super Bowl, you don't get to enjoy this, right? Because you're so focused on the game.
You don't get any part of this for good reason, and you shouldn't. You're here for a business trip. This is for after the game, and if you take care of business, you get this for about 3 months. So that's the best part about being in the Super Bowl.
Hey, Tom, you're calling this game today, and you and I presented you with your first Super Bowl, so that's pretty cool for me. And like I said on the opening here, I also won my first year. Do you go back and reflect on that and say, God, this is such a cool thing?
It's pretty surreal when I think about it. 23 years ago, we were staying in the Ritz-Carlton here, and kind of an underdog at the time. Nobody knew what our organization was all about. And it was a group of guys that came together that was a bit unheralded through the season, and we found our stride at the right time. And from that point on, the expectation and the standard was raised. A lot like when you were with the Steelers, when you were with the Raiders. That's a lot what's going on with the Chiefs right now. When they start training camp, they're preparing for this day, and that's the benefit of being and having that organizational excellence that they do.
Speaking of, go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey, your guy Gronk's over here sweating. Did he sweat during the ball game?
Wow, he's really sweating.
I'm dripping all over the place. I'm losing a pound about every 5 minutes. Tom always known me as a sweater. And actually, sometimes you wouldn't throw me a pass because my gloves were so wet. And every time the football came back to you, you were always so pissed at me. Why are you so sweaty?
I did.
I really just want you to stay away from me because you are dripping. But speaking of being an underdog, you were an underdog in the first Super Bowl here. I've been an underdog in the Super Bowl against you. Everybody's talking about Kansas City, three-peat. If you're the Eagles, like we wanted to play spoilers.
Yeah.
Do you think there's more motivation for them just knowing what they could do?
Sure. And I'm certain that you had all the confidence in the world with your teammates that when you played us in 2007, you could take care of business. And I have no doubt after watching the Eagles play this postseason, they will be fired up and ready for today. There's not going to be any intimidation factor going against the Chiefs that maybe a lot of other teams would have. And they played a great game against them a few years ago. Came up a little bit short. And I think today, if they play well, they could flip the script on them.
I heard you talk about the game versus Kansas City when you were in Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. The game was really won in the 2 weeks leading up to, pre-snap, your recognition. I think for Philadelphia, one of the biggest challenges is the complexity of, one, Steve Spagnuolo's blitzes, and two, the creative play calling of Kansas City with this young defense. How they react to those situations, I think, will determine the game.
Yeah, well, Steve Spagnuolo, that defense is insane. In 2007, I had no idea where they were coming from that game. You guys had so many things dialed up. It wasn't until after the game that I realized I needed to be a lot better as a quarterback. When I think about to that game, I had to work a long time understanding my study habits so that I could be prepared when I play Spags 13 years later to be better. Wow. I had to walk up there and say, okay, it's man, it's blitz, it's zone, and they all look the same. And then he shows you to the left and they come to the right. Then he shows you to the left and they come from the left. Then they show you to the left and they all drop to zone. So you got to really keep your composure. It took me 13 years after I played him the first time to figure out, and I don't think Jalen Hurts has 13 years. So that's going to be a big aspect of this game, his ability to handle the protection.
You got to go, but quickly, three-peat. Hard to do, wasn't it? Hard.
So hard, and it's unbelievable for what Kansas City has done, what that organization has done. And I'll be very happy for them to achieve something that's really historic. We were trying to do something historic in 07, and we had another NFC East spoiler. And maybe the NFC East spoilers can come to life again, but they got a tall task going against Patrick, who's got tremendous belief in himself, his teammates, the organization, the fans. Nobody wants to see him with the ball in his hands at the end of the game.
All right, real quick, we got to take a quick break. Gronk, keep a sight, Tom. I want you to look here at the foreheads. This man's sweating like he went to church after doing the wrong thing.
Like I'm in a
Not a
sauna
drop of sweat on
shootout.
Tom, who's cool, calm, and collected. We're going to have more from him in just a bit. And not only will Tom talk to us, he's going to show us with a demonstration exactly what makes Patrick Mahomes the star he is.